I'm sure that all of you have heard the old saying, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. But that's what many feel biochemists are doing with the genetically modified foods. During my research, according to Buzzle.com, and an article entitled Genetically Modified Food, Their Advantages and Dangers, it stated that during 2006, 252 million acres of GM foods were planted in 22 countries by 10.3 million farmers. And that was in 2006. So now we can say that all of us have consumed genetically modified foods. Some of those foods that are available were cotton, soybean, canola, potatoes, strawberries, corn, tomatoes, lettuce, and the list goes on and on and on. Next, I will discuss exactly what are genetically modified foods, their potential dangers, and ways that we can avoid these foods. The World Health Organization defines genetically modified foods as those foods whose genetic material has been altered in an unnatural way. It allows for the transference of one gene from one organism to the next. Now, this can be done within the same species, or it can be done between different species. An example of a GM food has to do with the popular weed killer Roundup. Now, we know that Roundup kills everything that it comes in contact with. So biochemists will take a gene from a bacterium that is resistant to Roundup, and they will implant it into a crop such as soybean, making it resistant to this weed killer. So therefore, a farmer can spray his crop with Roundup, and it would kill everything in sight except that genetically modified soybean. Well, you may have some gardeners and farmers saying, well, this is the answer to my prayers. But there are too many concerns and not enough research to deem GM foods as being safe. Furthermore, research on animals have returned alarming results. The American Association of Environmental Medicine stated that the research done on animals have proven to have serious health risks associated with GM foods, including infertility, immune problems, accelerated aging, insulin regulation, and changes in major organs and the gastrointestinal tract. Also, according to Jeffrey Smith, author and founder of the Institute for Responsible Technology, he reported that thousands of livestock, such as cattle, pigs, buffalo, and so on, have died from the consumption of genetically modified plants. Now, at this time, farmers are not forced to label their foods as genetically modified. There are no mandatory laws. But there are a few ways that we can avoid these foods if we choose to do so. First, you can look at the POU sticker on your fruit. If it has 4 numbers, it's conventionally grown. If it has 5 numbers and starts with a 9, that means it's organically grown. If it has 5 numbers and starts with an 8, that means it's genetically modified. And the second way is that you can buy local and talk to your farmers. And the third way is that we can avoid the top 4 major GM foods, which is soy, canola, corn, and cottonseed. So in conclusion, we have discussed exactly what are genetically modified foods, their potential dangers, and ways that we can avoid them. With the widespread production of GM foods, consumers need to be aware of the potential dangers that face them if they consume these foods. Advocates against GM foods are not trying to ban these foods altogether. They're just asking the governments to do better regulations, do more testing to make sure that these foods are safe for animal consumption and human consumption. Because after all, you are what you eat.